everybody, this is Kevin with the Unwrap palm trees. We sell a wrapping kit for the windmill palm trees that we've been very successful with. So if you're interested in buying it, it's $450, and I will show you everything that's involved and what you get with the kit and everything you're going to need to buy. Just FYI, you're going to need to buy your own 4-post, the thermostat, and the C9 Christmas lights, but I'll show you that here in a second. Our kit does not come with the 4-post, so you need to have them the right size. We'll show you how to measure that. And you're also going to need to buy what I recommend, these C9 Christmas lights, incandescent, with a thermocube that goes on at 35 and off at 45. You can buy both of these online on Amazon, and the poles you can get at Lowe's, Home Depot, someplace like that. Or you can even use, if you wanted to, just a regular white 1-inch PVC to the height that you need. Okay, this is what you're going to get for the $450 kit. You're going to get a red bags of stores of stuff. You're going to get 4 clamps to attach the covers to, 4 corners to make the top, 2 bungee cords, some screws, 4 poles that we use to make the top, a cover that'll go on top of the frame. You'll get your cover size that's the right size. There'll be an inside sleeve that's optional to put on. We will show you. And you're going to get 25 of these, what we call dog bones. Okay, I'm going to show you how to wrap a windmill palm tree with our wrapping kit from Island-wide Palm Trees. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to measure your tree to find out exactly what size cover you're going to need. I recommend leaving 2-foot space for the palm tree to grow into the cover. So let's measure this tree. This pole here is 10 feet. That would be 12. I would recommend a 14-foot cover for this tree. First thing you want to do when wrapping a windmill palm tree is to trim off any dead fronds that you might have or any of the seed pods that come off. This tree right here, for now, for this purpose, doesn't have any, but keep that in mind. That's the first thing you want to do. Now we're going to tie the tree up. This is probably one of the most hardest and possibly dangerous parts. Some trees are monsters like this tree, so it might take more than 2 bungee cords. So just be ready, and it's easy if you have somebody helping you out, but today I'm by myself. My cameraman is taking it easy. So here we go. First thing we want to do now is tie up the tree. So best thing to do is use some bungee cords. And my suggestion is start from up top and work your way down. So like I said, you want to try to get it up top. And tie it up. I'll go a little bit lower. Tie it up. This is definitely the hardest part. Probably throw another one just to tighten this up a little bit. Maybe here. And then maybe this top one, just move it a little further up. Unhook it. And there you go. Okay, I recommend 25 count clear C9 incandescent bulbs for the tree, and also a thermocube that goes on at 35 and off at 45. You can buy this online. Now, I would also recommend buying one of these to help wrap up your cord when it's time to unwrap the tree. Here's what we want to do. You want to run an extension cord to your tree. I would put it up in the crown area of the tree, which is right where the fronds start coming out. Put it in, wrap it around. Then I would plug my thermostat, the thermocube, into it. Sometimes it's a little tough. Slid right in. And then I would attach my Christmas lights to the tree. Plug the lights in. And then wrap around the trees. I would hang it from some of the bungee cords that you have. Wrap it around a few times. What this does is just gives the plant a little bit of heat and keeps it a little bit warm when the temperature gets cold. The lights will turn on at 35 degrees and it will turn off inside the enclosure when it gets to be 45 degrees. So the lights aren't on all the time. And then what I would do is take a couple of lights and I would kind of stick it as close to the crown as possible. And then there you go. Now it's all set. You might have a sleeve, we call a sleeve, that goes on the inside of the tree to cover the tree. It's optional if you want to use it. Completely up to you. We were using it for a couple of years, but I think they might do better. But depending upon your climate, this is the time you would put it on if you wanted to put it on. This is a breathable fabric. And we'll just take some small little bungees. And just tie it up. Like I said, this is optional, up to you if you think you need it or not. And there you go. Okay, the next thing you want to do is put up your pole and kind of mark where you want to place your bracing. And this will all make sense to you a little bit later on, but let me show you. So, being that this is a 12-foot tall tree, I would come up maybe about a foot off the bottom with the first piece and mark it. The next piece, I would come just below the crown of the tree, put a mark there, and then kind of see where the tree is at. And this will be adjustable a little bit later on, but you want to kind of adjust this so it controls the tree, and you'll see that in a little bit. So I go about there. Let me also explain to you, if your tree's smaller, like a 4 or 5 foot tree, you want to try to leave room in between this clip and that clip, this and that. So it might be as low as this for your tree. Obviously the frame ain't gonna be as tall, but you want to try to leave room where you can snap a clip on the bottom, or at least a clip in between to hold the cover on. Okay, so keep that in mind. But for this tree, you can go here, and you can go there. Now these might slide down, so I recommend just holding on to them as you bring it back over to where your poles are set up. Okay, what I like to do is take 8 poles, because I'm going to be using them for bracing across the tree. So there's 2, 4. I'm going to need 3 poles to finish locking up the bracing, but it's going to be open, and then 2 other pieces as cross members. I like to take these pieces and leave them over by the tree. Okay, you want to line up your poles on a straight edge, so when we put this all together, so I like to put 2 this way, and they're going to be about 2 foot apart, and then 4 foot apart. I'm going to put the next pole, the further pole away, like this. Okay, still holding on to the pieces that we marked. I'm going to place this down here and kind of line it up here. Now before you start snapping this all together, you want to make sure that all the poles are flushed up against your straight edge. So what you're going to do is just go like that. You can step on it. There you go, step on it. Step on it. This is the base of your frame. What you're going to do here from now is take 3 other pieces and you're going to go above where this just was. 1, right, so now you got that row done. You're going to do that for the last pole. Up above that piece that you put down in the center in your original mark. There you go. Now we're going to assemble the top piece. So you have these 4 poles. You're going to slide in. You're going to basically make a big square. Get it in, you want to bang it down so they're in all the way. And you're going to take a piece, put it across up top, and now your top is going to be attached to the frame when we start standing it up. I'll show you how to do that, and then we're going to attach the plastic piece on top of that before you put it on top of the tree. All right, so now we're going to raise the frame up. So what I like to do is just take it sort of in the middle. Sort of square it up as best you can, keeping it up against your straight piece you have in the back. Now, this is a lot easier to do with 2 people, but for demonstration, I'm doing it by myself. So then what you want to do is just lightly tap that in. It's a pretty snug fit. Now you got all 4 of them in. I give it a good tap. Good tap. Tap and a good tap. The next thing we're going to do now is attach the plastic roof that'll stop the water from dripping on it. So it has a fold on it. I would keep the fold going across the bracing. And you want to square this up as best you can, so when you put the cover on, it slides on a lot easier. There. And there you go. Okay. An easier way, sometimes if you're by yourself, while the frame is still down like this, in the middle, I would just put a cross piece. Like that, and that'll help keep the frame together as you lift it up. If you're by yourself, I recommend doing it this way. Keep in mind though, when you get to the tree, you're gonna have to knock it off. So now we're gonna lift the frame up. Here's where somebody else comes in handy, but if you don't have anybody, I'll walk it up. Now, I'm going to walk this over to the tree. Make sure your ladder's out of the way as you walk over, everything's out of your way. And walk it over to your tree, and you're going to slide this over the tree as I'm going to show you. Now I'm going to walk the frame over to the tree. It's also good if you have a mallet in the hand, and I'll show you why you're going to need it here in a second. So now walk over to the tree. Especially if you have this course piece on like I put on in the middle. What you want to do then, put it close to the tree as possible. And now you can just knock it out with the mallet. You want to hit it. When you're hitting it, you want to hit it here, not here. You want to hit it on the fitting right there. Now we're going to slide the frame over the tree. This tree could have probably used a 14-foot cover, but for demonstration purposes, we're just sticking with the 12. Slide it over the tree. The next thing you're going to do now, you have these pieces laying on the floor close to the trees. You're going to attach these other pieces. Now, this is the first 3 pieces I put on with the measurement of the tree. These side pieces are what was put on while the tree was laying down. What you want to do now, you see these line up with each other. There's nothing lined up over here. So you want to put this below the opening on the match. And now that lines up with that. Okay? And then if you want, this is where the cross pieces are going to go like this. But I'm going to continue putting this other piece that needs to go here. And a little bit later on, we'll attach the top piece that needs to go there. But now what we're going to do is attach the cross pieces. All right, I already attached the one before that you just saw. I like working from the bottom and working my way up. So you're just going to snap it on like this. Once you have all 8 of these pieces snapped on, you're ready to level the tree out and tighten the screws. So what I like to use to level the tree out is a magnetic level. You can get this anywhere from Harbor Freight. It just attach to the pole like that, and you can sort of see whether the tree's leaning forward or backwards, or whatever the case may be. So the reason for these braces, this is what's actually going to hold the frame together, and it's going to be held up against the tree and snug. So we're going to screw these up, but first we want to make sure that the tree is level, and we're going to level this apart. So right now, looking at it, the tree is leaning too far that way, so it needs to go this way to level it out. So right there, it's level. So what I would do then is push these up against the tree, because that'll stop it from going this way and that way. I might move the bottom just a little bit. There you go. And now that's level. Okay, that way. Now we want to level it this way. So the frame is leaning too much that way, so we want to pull the tree this way. Now it's leveled out. What you can do now then is take the screws and you're going to screw these pieces on so they don't slide now that you have it set. So I would pull them a little bit, screw right in. I would screw from the top right here, not here, because you don't want it sticking out where it might rip up your cover. So you're going to go all the way around the tree. You're going to screw all 4 of these down low. Now make sure you keep them snug when you do it. So these 2 are already done. These back ones aren't done yet, so I'm going to pull them tighter to keep it snug. And the same with this one. Pull it tighter. And pull it tighter. We haven't done the top yet. We haven't screwed the middle piece yet, but the frame is already getting stable. This is what's gonna hold it. So now we're gonna screw these top pieces. So now we're gonna do the same here in the middle. Pull it tight. And screw all the way around on these other 4 bracing pieces. Up on a ladder, pulling it tight. Okay, all of these now are screwed on tight. All right, we still have that opening up there that we need to close, so we're going to do that now. So once again, it's going to be below the piece, not on top, below. And now we're going to close this way. You see the tree is kind of leaning that way, so you've got two other pieces that you can use to move the head over a little bit. So I'm going to slide a piece up in here. Readjust this bungee. And maybe we want to put the tree over just a little bit back. Now your frame is done. This isn't going anywhere. So now we're going to apply the cover. Okay, what I recommend doing with the cover, if you can, if you have a PVC pull or something like that, make sure the zipper is opened all the way, and then I would just zipper it down 2 feet. And now, you can lift it up and do your best to get the cover on. Sometimes it's better to do it without the wind, but it's doable. Adjust it as you need to. There you go. Cover's on. Zipper it up. Don't zip your pole inside the cover. Zip it all the way down. Now you're ready to put clamps on it. So now we're ready for the clamps. I recommend you really just need 2 clamps. I pull the cover down, snug, and pull it there. Straighten out the cover, pull it snug, and there. If you wanted to be extra safe, you could put some an extra clamp or 2 up top. Just pull it down and attach it. Just for them, you're going to have to take that off when you're taking the cover off. Okay, here's an extra tip also. I would take the red bag and I would just leave it inside the kit, so that way you don't lose it. So when you have to take the kit apart, you can just put all the pieces back in there. So that's my big recommendation. So that's how you wrap a windmill palm tree with our palm cover. So, our wrapping system. What I recommend throughout the winter time is zippering it open as much as you can. Even though it's a breathable fabric, it's just best to give air as best you can. Even if it's on a freezing day, I would open it up, zipper it out, and let it air out for 10 minutes. maybe do that once a week, at least if you can. Also, you can give the tree water in the soil. If you want to water it, you can give it water. And like I said, the most important thing is zippering and opening close to let the air come in and out. And that's it. Any questions, you can give us a call at 631-714-7256 or visit unwrapping.com. Thank you. Welcome back. Now is the time to unwrap your tree. So this is the Unwrap Palm Trees Windmill Wrapping Kit. So to unwrap the tree is pretty easy. I'll give you the instructions and just follow what I tell you to do and it should be a piece of cake for you. Thank you. Okay everybody, here's how to unwrap Unwrap Palm Trees Windmill Palm Kit. Keep in mind that if you're one of our customers and you're unwrapping it yourself and you want us to come back and wrap the tree for you, I need the tree unwrapped the way I'm showing you. Otherwise, we're going to have to charge you additional money. So watch the video completely and you'll see how to pack the red bag that's towed away right here. How to put the pieces back in here so it's ready for us to come do it next year. Thank you. Okay, unwrapping your palm tree is just going to be opposite of the way that you wrapped it. So we're going to take the clamps off. So look where the clamps are. It looks like there's 2 here on the bottom and there's 1 here up top. No other clamps. So I would unzip it a little bit. Like that. I would grab the fabric and just pull on it a little bit and it'll just pop the clip off. So there's 1 clip. There's 2 clips. And this clip. Pop right off. They're on pretty snug, so it's not that easy. Okay, as you take the clips off, put them off to the side, and then you can unzip your cover. Take the cover off. Clips ain't holding it up anymore. Just lift it right up. There you go. Take the cover now, put it back where the clips are at, because it's all going to go back in this red bag that we left inside the wrapping kit, like I told you to do. This makes things a hell of a lot easier. Now that the cover's off, what I recommend doing is unscrewing the screws that are holding the bracing together. Don't lose the screws, you can use them again next year. So unscrew, there's 8 here on the bottom, there's 8 in the middle. Now we'll unscrew the middle, but I would take the screws from the bottom and put them in a bag so you have them. Okay, now we're going to unscrew the screws here in the middle. There's 8 of them. Careful on the ladder, you might have to move it. Try getting in. That one. Ain't got that one. You want to make sure the screws are completely out for you to take this apart. Now that you unscrewed all the screws, I'd put them in a bag and put them off to the side and put it back where your kit is with the red bag. Next thing to do now is to take off these bracings, kind of just like opposite what you did. Whenever you put the tree in, it had an opening that slid right over. We want to make that opening again. So you start by opening these up, and once again, hit them here on a clamp, not there. So if you hit it like this, should just pop right up. I'm going to take that up, move it over. While you have it out, you can take it off completely, put them off to the side. I like taking off the lower cross pieces first, and then the middle cross pieces, and then going up top, and then opening up the tray. So So now we got the lower pieces off. Now we're going to take the middle pieces off. Now, you need to be careful when you're taking off these middle pieces because you have the Christmas lights here. So you don't want it to just fling up and break your lights. So try to put a hand over it and stop it when it goes up. Another thing you do is open them up all the way to the side first. So when you do open them, you have less chance of hitting the Christmas lights. There we go. I'll loosen this one. All right. Swing that over. Might be tough. So you're able to go down, take it off. Swing the next one over. Take it off. That one's already done. Now if you wanted, you can just take it and flip it over like this and leave it like that. And then take it off when you bring it over to a flat ground and take it all apart. So I'll kind of show you that here right now. Now that we got the middle, the cross pieces on the bottom and the middle taken out, now we're going to open up the top pieces that we have. Remember, we put these pieces on to help stabilize the head of the tree, to put it more center inside the tree. We're just going to loosen one and loosen the other. Take one of these out. Or you could now that we have the pieces loose, we're going to open the outer edge. So we're going to make a U where we can slide the tree out. So I'm going to open this one up. Alrighty. There we go. That one off. I'm going to open this up. Open this bottom one up. Now we should be able to just slide this tree back. We're going to lean it back. Have the frame and walk it over to where you want to take it apart at. For stability purposes, if you want, you can just take this bottom piece and close it. Or you can just start taking all these pieces off right here if you want. I like taking it to a location where I can just take it apart, where I have everything else already. Now you're going to lay it down. You're going to take off the top cover. So to take off the top cover, I'd cut off the teeth that you had on, put it off to the side. Okay? And now you're going to just tap these pieces off, and that'll just fall down for you. Now it's connected there still from the bottom where we had it connected to the bracing, so we're just going to snap that right off. Boom. Okay? Lay it down, finish taking off the top. You have the piece on here. You got to take this off also. All right, and then you're going to take these pipes apart. When you're putting it away, make sure these pipes are taken apart. You can leave the fittings on them, but just make sure that they're taken apart. We're going to put this back in a second in the bag, and I'll show you how to do that. Taking the rest of these pipes off, the dog bones. This is the easiest way to do it, I tend to find. One pipe done. Okay, you don't want to leave this like this because you want to put them all back in the bag like this. So you got to take these off. There you go. Second pipe on. Okay, all your pipes are done. I would take them, put them all together, tape them up with duct tape, and put them in a location where you know you can store them out. And if you're going to store them, we're going to come wrap your tree again. Let us know when you stored the pipes so we can come get them when we come wrap. So now your balls are all done. You want to take them, stand them up. Wrap it with duct tape. Somewhere down low, you're going to flip it over. And wrap it with duct tape again. This way it just makes it easier to store. Now when you put them away, you need to let us know where you put them away so when we come back to wrap, we know where to find them. And also where you're going to leave your red kit. Now you can put these away. Okay, so now what you want to do is take all your pieces and put it in a bag that you have, and I'll show you how to do that. So I want you to open your bag. Your cover should have a crease on it. Put it inside. Then take your top pieces. They have the corners, the four corners. And place it inside. Then I would take all your door bones and put it inside just like that. Also your screws you can put inside, and your clamps. Now that you got all your pieces inside your bag, what you have left are the Christmas lights, the thermocube, your extension cord, your cover, and your sleeve. Okay, like I recommended before, try and buy this on Amazon. Home Depot sells it, Lowe's sells it. It's something to wrap your Christmas lights in. This makes things a lot easier. So I would find the end where you started from, which is right here, and I would just wrap it like that, and then go around your tree. Wrap your lights. Unwrap your lights. So just wrap them around the red cord holder. Alrighty. When you unplug your lights from the thermocube, and then I would take your lights, and this is where the cover kind of comes in handy. The sleeve cover I was telling you about on the inside, if you use it or you don't use it, I would put your lights inside of it and then just wrap it up to help it from breaking. Now that you took off the lights, unwrap the extension cord, I would leave the thermocube on the cord and just keep the cord with the bag. So you wrap that up, and I'm going to put it in the bag here in a little bit. All right, the next thing to do is to unwrap the tree. So I like starting from the top and working my way down. So you need to unwrap all the bungees you put on. Watch your eyes. there it is, your windmill palm unwrapped. Things should look amazing. Now what I would do is take your extension cord with the thermocube, place it inside the bag with the bungee cords and the lights, just lay that on top, and then take your cover. I would leave it unzipped. Just roll it up, put it inside the red bag. Okay, zip this red bag up. And now this kit is ready for wrapping when the time comes in the fall and winter time. So let us know where you're going to put this bag, so if you come to wrap your tree, we know where to find the bag and also the bolts. Thank you. Okay, if you get part of our wrapping service and we unwrap your tree, we'll trim any dead branches that need to be trimmed. We'll treat the tree with peroxide. We'll pour peroxide down the crown to take care of any molding. We'll treat it with the root fungus around the root and give it a vitamin treatment and also a slow release fertilizer for the rest of the year. So if we don't unwrap your tree, I recommend you do that also, and I'll give you information about that.